What it do, Niner fam? Now, the realization of this has to hit everybody, mostly some of these team owners. And there's two parts to this. The first part is all these, they have all these first round picks, and people do their evaluation on first round picks, a lot of first round picks, and the talent of the first round picks. And side note, I do think Shador Sanders should have been a first round pick. I think they tried to sabotage Shador Sanders' first year. See, but that's another story. But when you're going for these first round picks and people evaluate them and everything else, they get so much leeway to when they messing up. You can, and we can keep it fair. Alex Smith was, man, let me tell you, y'all know his first couple of years, it was bad. It was bad. And it didn't start off bad, but he had so many head coaches and offensive coordinators, it went all bad. It was like, I used to go to a couple of them games at Candlestick and be like, look at that. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? And, he's a first round pick. So, you want to see the development. You want to see the growth. And then it literally tanked when we had Mike Singletary. And Mike Singletary, he's kind of like Tomlin. He's not a quarterback coach. He's a defensive guy. Saying so when Singletary came in there, he was solidifying the team. He had Alex Smith, but he was solidifying the team. Remember, he had Troy Smith too, and Singletary didn't want he didn't care about what you trying to learn, reps. He figured, okay, Alex Smith, you're the starter. Singletary became the coach. He's like, look, I'm going to get this defense straight. We're going to get the run game straight, and then we're going to go. Once he seen that Alex Smith was struggling, he would just bench him. It wasn't, he just bench him, not even nothing, just probably yell at him real quick and then bench him. That's not growth. You don't grow nobody like that. And Alex Smith, they say, I think it was like 9 coaches or something like that, or 13 different offensive coordinators. It was bad, man. Now, when he did get with the right coach, okay, when he got with the right coach, which was Harbaugh, and he stabilized them. Now, I don't know what type of magic Harbaugh is doing, because you see what he did with the quarterback in with the Chargers. I mean, he had him thinking that he was invincible. That man took about 1 million sacks this year and was still getting up with an old messed up hand. So that tells you when you got the right coach, you can. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I don't care if he's first round pick or the last pick. If if he's comfortable with you, and you can get him to learn, especially Shanahan's offense. People don't understand that is a very hard offense to learn. Shanahan offense, if you're an elite quarterback, it's going to take you about 2 years. Elite quarterback, 2 to 3 years. If you're a regular quarterback and you need some help, it's going to take you about 4 years to learn the offense. I didn't say that, to learn it. I didn't say you're going to be winning in it. I said to learn it. If you're a middle of the pack quarterback and you got Shanahan's offense, he can work around you, because he's going to make the offense so quarterback friendly that it doesn't need the quarterback to do too much. See, it's a mixture. Shanahan's offense is a mixture of the West Coast offense and his dad's run blocking scheme. That's why when Garoppolo came to the team, Garoppolo wasn't an elite quarterback. He's like the middle of the pack of a regular quarterback. So when you seen Garoppolo play over there with the Patriots, it's like, oh yeah, he can drop back and pass, and it looked good. Even Belichick wanted to keep him. But when he got Shanahan offense, it's like he looked at lost. Look at the first year, the first full year he started. And it wasn't even a full year. He got hurt the third game. But look at that. Look at the first couple of games. He just looked at lost. He was out for the whole season injured. The next season when he came back, I guarantee you, when he got hurt for that season, because it was in the Kansas City game, he got hurt. And they didn't hit him on that. And what he did was he was going to step out of bounds. But Garoppolo, thinking that he can run over another a lineman or something and end up injuring his leg or something like that. Who would have figured Garoppolo got injured? So when he got hurt, I'm guaranteeing you, Shanahan gave him that playbook and said, that's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to do is get in that playbook. Now, the thing with Garoppolo was, the big throws he wasn't going to do. He wasn't going to do. His guy was Debo. See, we talking Christian McCaffrey wasn't there. So, Garoppolo guy was Debo. He like, I could just check it down to that fool, and he's a beast. He's running people over. He's doing all type of stuff. So, chuck it down to him. Man, you can get it to Kittle. You can do all that type stuff, which he did. Kittle coming across the top or something like that. He remember that game with the Saints where he threw it to Kittle, and Kittle ran a little crossing route, and then he was running up the sideline, and all them Saints holding on him and everything else. But Garoppolo's not going to go down the field. That's why you seen in the Super Bowl, he was overthrowing Emmanuel Sanders. He was doing a lot of stuff like that. So, Shanahan tried to make it quarterback friendly. That's why in the NFC Championship, I think it was Minnesota or Green Bay, I can't remember, when the running back we had, that running back that went to the Dolphins, can't remember his name, leave it in the comments. We ran the ball 90% of the time. That NFC Championship, I think Garoppolo threw the ball 3 times. Maybe 3 times. Other than that, they ran it the whole time. Because you got the offense. When you got Trent Williams, and at that time I think we had Joe Staley. I think we had Joe Staley. So with the run offense, you can, and you got a good running back, and that running back we had was Raheem Mostert. He was fast. With that run blocking scheme, the difference between Raheem Mostert and McCaffrey, Raheem Mostert, he'll see the run blocking once you run to that side. But if he gets a hole, he was so fast, you're not going to catch him. You're just not going to catch him. Now, McCaffrey get through them holes, and you'll see he'll get into the open, but somebody will catch him from behind. Mostert, you're not catching him. You're just not going to catch him. That's touchdown all day. Now, the reason I bring all that up is because Purdy, people don't understand, he's lightweight and elite quarterback because he picked that system up his rookie year. And people thinking, whoa, if you're a rookie and you got the whole season, I'm talking about during preseason. He picked the offense up during preseason. Remember, it took Matt Ryan 4 years to learn this system. Purdy, when they put Purdy in the game and you seen the throws he started making that first game against the Dolphins. You seen the throws he started making. People was kind of shocked. But then the next thing, when we played Tampa Bay, and it looked like Shanahan literally like, hold on, this is one page I'm using. This motherfucker know the offense. He opened the page up like, oh, we going to this. No more check down stuff. And at that time, we had McCaffrey, so everything was open. Straight to the NFC Championship. And then he got injured. Next year, if you already knew the offense as a rookie, next year, Super Bowl. Lightweight and elite quarterback. And it says Brock Purdy is the only remaining QB in the playoffs that was not a first-round pick. That's not by accident. See, that's not by accident. He's good. They don't like to give him his props because the NFL is hating on, late round picks, but they have no choice this time. They have no choice. Purdy is a baller. And they gotta respect it. They don't want to, but they got to respect it. Hold on. Yeah. Now, they have to respect Brock Purdy and what he can do. Now, you got to notice they give all praise to Shanahan all the time. All praise to Shanahan. They'll never say this, that, yeah, Shanahan's good. He's cooking it up. Shanahan has had other quarterbacks. What about Brian Hoyer, Nick Mullins, C.J. Beathard? What's up? What happened to these guys? Kirk Cousins. When RG3 went down, Kirk Cousins was starting for a minute. And he played good in the system. But he sat behind RG3. You got to remember, Kirk Cousins is the one we really wanted. That's who Shanahan really wanted. He wanted to have his own team. This is Shanahan. Shanahan wanted to have his own team. He got his own team, the Niners. Okay. He brought in some because you got to have a veteran quarterback, you know, just out there, and then you see what you got. That's where the Brian Hoyer and the C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, because he knew it was going to be a bad season. He knew we were going to get a high pick. He knew it was going to be a bad season. Those quarterbacks right there, you know, you're not worried about that. He said, all right, the next year, I'm going to get Kirk Cousins. I'm going to get him. He's going to be my main guy. He didn't really have too much wear and tear on him. He knows the offense. He knows it. I can build around him. This is Shanahan. It's like, I'm going to build around Kirk Cousins. So he goes, at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, he goes to the Commanders and says, I'm going to get, what's up? Let me get Kirk Cousins. Those bastards wouldn't let him go. They just wouldn't let him go. They was hating it. Shanahan, they either wanted our first round pick or something big for him. Like, we going to get a top first round pick. What are you talking about? I'm saying, AKA Nick Bosa. We're not going to give you our first round pick. That doesn't make any sense. You don't even want him on your team. And then the things we offered them, they weren't taking none of it. So we had to move forward, which is where Jimmy Garoppolo comes in, because Jimmy Garoppolo was just, we didn't really, everybody knew Jimmy Garoppolo was good, but it's like he wasn't our first choice. Shanahan was getting overridden by the office. You got to remember, Tom Brady hated on Garoppolo, went over Belichick's head, told the owner to get rid of Garoppolo. Belichick said, I like Garoppolo, but I can't overwrite the owner. But what I will do is I'm going to do right by Garoppolo. So what does he do? He calls the team that he says the best fit for him, that he know he's going to be winning in. He could have sent them to the Raiders. He could have just did him dirty. He called Shanahan and said, man, give me I don't know if it was a second round pick or a fourth, I can't remember. But he said, give me something for Garoppolo. And Lynch, he talked to Lynch, and Lynch was like, what, for Garoppolo? This guy's good. Belichick was like, hey, I got to get him out of here, but I want him to be there because I know he's going to be good there. You guys are going to do him right. He comes to the Niners. That wasn't Shanahan's guy. But the problem was when Garoppolo came in, remember the first couple of games he came in, everybody got hurt. C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, and Brian Hoyer, they all got hurt. Garoppolo had just got off the fucking plane. He jumped in there and he's playing backyard ball. He's throwing the ball. We had Marquise Goodwin. He's throwing the ball. He's doing everything. Everybody's like, yeah, Garoppolo. Not knowing that, hey, man, we ain't really never seen this fool play. We seen him playing them 5 games. The season was a wash. The season was a wash. He came in and won 5 games. Remember, the hottest team at that time was the Jaguars when Jalen Ramsey was on it. We torched them. They was on the sideline fighting. Kind of like the Eagles when we played over there and the Eagles was, A.J. Brown was the coach. It was kind of like that. So everybody wanted Garoppolo. Shanahan was like, nah, I'm going to get my own guy. The Niners said, no, this is the guy. That's why when Garoppolo was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna be a free agent next year anyway, so I'm just gonna leave unless I get over $100 and something million. Shanahan was like, man, we ain't even really seen you play. He was like, I'm gonna walk. The fans, the management, everybody wanted Garoppolo. So Shanahan had to take him. That's the Garoppolo, experience. You go to the Super Bowl, you go to playoffs. He's getting injured every 5 seconds. He steps on a blade of grass. He's hurt. Everything. He can't throw deep. It's all type of stuff. Everything started happening. Injury after injury after injury. That's why when they was like, you know what, forget this, we just going to pull the plug. Shanahan was like, I'm going to get Mac Jones. The Niners said, we want Trey Lance. Shanahan said, well, Mac Jones, he fits the skill set, so I'm going to get him. We want Trey Lance. Well, Trey Lance ain't really played. He, COVID years, so he didn't really, do too much. We want Trey Lance. All right, give up all the picks, get Trey Lance. Somehow, some way, and it's the last pick in the draft. Let's get that guy, Mr. Irrelevant. Let's get this guy, Brock Purdy. The problem what they had was, and I was an advocate for Trey Lance. Bought his jersey and everything. The first game he playing in Chicago, it was a monsoon. Go look at that game. And the problem with Trey Lance wasn't ready. The game was too big for him. And you in a monsoon. And he's throwing the ball so hard, it's hitting the players and bouncing off. They were complaining that he's throwing the ball too hard. But even when Shanahan used to get up to the podium, he'd say, I don't care, you're a professional, catch it. True. But you launch it, there's no touch. It's just the whole time. Trey Lance got hurt. I even said, hey, man, give him a chance. Let's give him a chance and let's see what he can do. Garoppolo comes back. And wouldn't you know it, Garoppolo got hurt again. That's crazy. Garoppolo getting hurt. That's amazing that Garoppolo was getting hurt. Anyway, they put the kid in. They said, let's put him in there. Let's just put him in there and let's, just get the game out the way. The Dolphins said, let's blitz 9. Let's blitz 9. Forget this fool. He ain't nobody. The third string, let's blitz 9. He started lighting their ass up. And the thing is, when if you watch that first game, Shanahan was calling like the basic plays. If you watch that game, he was like, no, go to this one. Shanahan was like, what? Okay. Then Purdy started tearing their ass up. You watch when Mike Daniel, whatever his name is, Daniels, for the coach for the Dolphins at that time, he got mad at the defensive coordinator and said, why do you keep blitzing? He's eating it up. Then the defensive coordinator had to play regular defense. By that time, the score was out of hand. Purdy had already had him. And we didn't look back. Shanahan was like, I can work with this. Now, yeah, he ain't no big Cam Newton, and he's not a big rough Roethlisberger and none of that stuff. He's cerebral. And his artistry, big word, his artistry is he plays with anticipation. Go look at his college tape. He can look off a defense. All right, I see you. I'm looking over there. I'm going over here. But I see you. I'm going over there. Wow, he'll tear your ass up. When they unlocked everything, and you had Ayuk in his right there, it couldn't be stopped. It couldn't be stopped. But the hate, they kept rolling the hate. We're winning every game. The hate. We're in the play. We win the play. They're hating. I remember when we beat Green Bay, they literally said, yeah, the Niners won, but Jordan Love is better. Purdy literally won the game, but Jordan Love is better. When we're losing to Detroit in the first half, they was like, yeah, see, we told you. Oh, yeah. He comes back and he helps win the game. Oh, well, the better team didn't win. And, they got liquor. What? That's why, it's imperative that he gets back to the Super Bowl. He has to win a ring. And ain't no Sam Darnold, Mr. Oblique, a.k.a. Butterflies, a.k.a. Bubble Guts. You can't get in the way. You just can't. See? You just can't. I don't really see it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about this. Leave it in the comments. Peace. I'm out of here.